afternoon, everybody. We are out here on the range, out here in West Virginia, and we got a lovely, cool evening because the last couple weeks it has just been super hot out here. And we are talking turkey tonight with the Tisas PX-9 Carry, a nice compact carry double stack 9mm pistol. In fact, I've already done a video on this gun on the tabletop where it was nice and cool inside. And if you want to know all the features this gun has, want to see everything that comes with it, go ahead and check that video out. It's going to be down in the description of this video so you can check it out. Now, we're going to be shooting this gun tonight, finally out here on the range. We've got multiple different types of 9mm ammo that we're going to try a couple rounds of each through this gun and see if it's reliable. Full metal jacket, hollow point, 115 all the way up to 150 grain ammo. We're also going to shoot it for accuracy, and we're going to shoot it on the timer, see how fast we can shoot this little PX-9 Carry right here. I want to say thanks to SDS Arms for sending this pistol over so we could bring you this video and find out, is this going to be a Turkish delight or not? But first, I got to ask you, if you haven't joined the herd yet, how about you go ahead and headbutt that subscribe button. First off, we're going to start with just a general function test. I've got both magazines loaded up, 115 grain Blazer 9mm ammo. So this is the 15+2 extended base plate, and we got the 15 round magazine right there. Let me get my hearing protection on here, and we'll take some shots. Now, this gun has been taken out of the box and lubricated. No problems with the first magazine. And no issues with the second magazine. Now I'm going to go ahead and load these up one more time. All right, I'm back. Magazine's loaded a second time. I've only got 8 rounds of the Blazer in this magazine right here. However, this, the 17 round magazine, it is full of Federal 115 grain. All right, no problems out of those magazines there, and no problem out of the PX-9 itself, and it shoots pretty well. I was able to keep pretty much every round on the torso-sized steel plate target that's downrange. I felt myself having to readjust the grip just a few times, but it is a bit of a smaller handgun being that carry size, but it still fits my hand pretty well. I was playing around with the different grip panels, and I found a set that makes it feel pretty nice in the hand, and the trigger on this gun isn't bad and pretty easy to shoot this gun. So next up, let's try some different types of 9mm ammo in this gun. Now I'm gonna do it a little bit differently this time. I'm gonna load 3 different types of ammo in the same magazine, 5 rounds of each, and I will let you know what type of ammo we are shooting 5x5x5 before we start shooting to see if it functions with different types and grain weights of ammo. 3 different types of full metal jacket, 3 different types of jacketed hollow point. But what types of ammo are we trying out here? Well, we've got this right here. This is all our full metal jacket ammo. So first up, we've got some Arms Core 124 grain on the bottom. On top of that, we have S&B 124 grain. And then on the top of that magazine is 124 grain Blazer full metal jacket. In the jacketed hollow point magazine, on the bottom we got Arms Core, and I believe that's 124 grain as well. Then we've got some Federal HST 124 grain, and this is plus P ammo. And on top of that, we have some Federal white box 147 grain jacketed hollow points. But we're going to start right with the Full Metal Jacket ammo. All right, next up should be the S&B. And now we got the arms core. So no problem, out of that mixture of 9mm Full Metal Jacket rounds, let's see how it feeds the hollow point rounds, because this is a carry size handgun. So we need to make sure it's reliable with hollow point ammunition. Okay, next up we're getting into the HSTs, the Plus Ps. Now that stuff definitely has a different recoil, more powerful recoil in this little gun. And we got the arms core next. All right, it ate every type of 9mm that we've fed to it so far, so it's looking pretty promising for the PX-9. So now the last two types of ammo we have to try here is some Ammo Inc. 115 grain JHP and some Federal 150 grain Syntex. The Syntex are on top there. So, still no issues. PX-9's doing pretty good. Okay, I got a target downrange about 10 yards, and I'm gonna try some different types of ammo for accuracy. 3 different types of ammo. First off, we've got the Blazer 124 grain, and then we've got the S&B 124 grain and the Arms Core 124 grain. So if I take my time, I should do pretty good with this little pistol. Yep. Loading up the S&B right now, 10 rounds, 124 grain. Bottom target. .124 grain arms core. Now I've got 2 targets downrange, so we're also going to try one of the types of hollow points to see how accurate it is with that ammunition. Oop. Federal HSTs, just 5 rounds. These aren't the cheapest rounds to shoot, but we're gonna try it for y'all out there watching. Whoop. See what happened there. It loaded the round, but didn't recock the striker. Now we just had one malfunction with the 124 grain HST right there. It seemed to load it into the gun, but unfortunately it didn't recock the striker. So I've got that one round right here. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put 5 more rounds into the magazine. We'll leave that one on the bottom, see if it gives us an issue again as the very last round. because this ate this ammunition before. Let's try it out now. Hitting a little high down there. There it was again. Got one round in the chamber, one round in the magazine. Unless maybe I pressed my thumb against the slide and slowed it down. So maybe it was the gun, maybe it was my grip. I'm gonna go ahead and change my grip up a little bit to make sure that I'm not pressing my thumb against the slide and impeding it and causing a malfunction with this pistol. So it functioned for all 5 rounds that time. So it could have been me. It was probably me getting the thumb a little high and against the slide there and causing it to slow down enough that I caused a malfunction on this gun. Okay, so we didn't have any problem with those 5. We did have one here and one here. However, the rest were grouped right here below the bullseye. It's timer time. We're gonna see how fast we can shoot the PX-9. Now, this isn't a measure of how fast we can draw and shoot, just how fast we can shoot 5 rounds on the steel plate target down there. We'll go ahead and load up here. A 1.05. Let's try that again. That was pretty fast there. A 1.03, but I noticed I missed a couple. A 1.06. .98. So you can shoot the PX-9's trigger fairly fast, and it is a nice feeling flat-faced trigger on there. I'm really getting used to it, and I think it feels good for a pistol that comes in at this price point. So we saw how accurate the PX-9 is. So I moved back here to 30 yards to see if I could still make hits on the steel IDPA torso target. So pretty easy to still make those hits. Let's move back a bit further and try 50 yards with this little carry-sized gun. All right, back here at 50 yards. Let's try to put some rounds on that white torso target downrange. With this small of a gun, it might be pretty hard. I'm gonna give it a go though. Nope. There we go. Well, 2 out of 5. There you have it, everybody. Our first range session with the PX-9 Carry by Tisas. Now, I think this gun did pretty good out here on the range because I hadn't had any experience with the PX-9 series before. But when I was researching this pistol, I saw a lot of people posting about how much they liked theirs, and I had high hopes for this gun. And it's always good when a gun exceeds your expectations for being a budget gun. It's kind of bad when you buy a Gucci gun and it just completely fails on you. So I was really happy with how this gun performed out here. So let's talk about how it did on the range. So we took this gun out of the box, lubricated it, brought it out here, and we filled the 15 round and the 17 round magazine up, and then it ate through all that. We filled them up again, and it ate through those rounds with no problem. After that, we went and got a mixture of different types of 9mm ammo, of different grain weights and different bullet profiles, and we had no issues there. So once we saw that it was pretty reliable out of the box, we decided to test the accuracy. From 10 yards, this gun grouped great with full metal jacket ammo, and then when we tried the HSTs, well, we ran into a little bit of a hiccup there. And I'm not blaming the gun for this, because here's what happened. The gun had a few stoppages, but I think my problem was I had my thumbs up here on the slide. And I think I was applying pressure to the slide, and that's what induced those malfunctions. Because in the beginning of this video, we didn't have a problem with the HSTs when we tried the mixed ammo. And then when I loaded another magazine up and was mindful of where my thumbs were, I didn't have a problem with the HSTs then. So I am saying that malfunctions, they were caused by my grip on this gun here. But since it was so accurate at 10 yards, I decided to move back to 30 to try a longer shot, and I had no problem putting rounds on the steel torso target. So I was like, well, let's try back at 50 yards, which is a pretty long shot with a handgun, especially one of this size right here. And I still managed to get some rounds on target, but it was a challenge there. But I think that's due to the trigger in this gun. This is a pretty nice trigger in here that it still allowed me to make some hits at 50 yards and allowed me to shoot this gun really quickly on the timer. We actually broke 1 second, so we got sub 1 second times out of 5 rounds out of this pistol. Now, we weren't trying out the draw time on the target or anything. I just wanted to see how fast you could shoot the PX-9, and I was surprised by just how fast we could shoot this. I think for a budget handgun, for someone's first handgun, or for something different for someone who has a collection of guns, if you're just looking for something different out there, or if you have seen these PX-9s and you're wondering about how well they did, well, it turned out to be a pretty good gun out here on the range. And this isn't the only video we're gonna have this out on the range for. We're gonna compare it to the Canik Mate MC9, their little subcompact carry 9mm, and see how those guns stack up against each other because they run right around the same price. This has a street price of just over 300 bucks and an MSRP of just over 400 bucks. So it's firmly in the budget pistol category. If you want to know more about this handgun, you can check them out at TisasUSA.com or SDSArms.com. And if you've made it this far to the end of the video, I really appreciate you watching. This has been another WV Guns and Goats video, everybody. Remember, as always, if you're not out there having fun shooting, well, what are you doing?